Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MLG X Games Invitational. We are live from Aspen, Colorado, and today is Championship Sunday. After 2 grueling days of competition, we're down to our final 4 teams and our final 2 matches. Later in the day, we'll see NIP versus LDLC battling for gold. But to kick things off this morning, we have our bronze medal match between Dignitas and Fnatic. To kick things off, let's send it over to our casters for team introductions.
Thanks, Chris. Again, last day, I can't believe we've come all this way. We've had so much drama, so many upsets. Then yesterday we saw great matches, but now, as Chris said, we're going to go through the roster and reintroduce these guys for you so that we can get a good feel for this match that's about to come up for the bronze medal game here. We've got Zipnix to begin with, a bit of a star player, taking kind of like gone back a little bit on that kind of role and become more of a support man, but still always as clutch as ever.
And yesterday in the semifinal, played with the most heart on the entire team. He was absolutely on it every single round and absolutely intense the entire time. So they're going to need that from him again today, and hopefully the rest of them can come around him. Next up, Dupree had a kind of an off game in the first game of the series against NIP, but from then on has been pretty consistent for them. Yeah,
he's the guy that you look to for the entries, for the opportunities, and incredibly important on those T sides here for Dignitas, a team famed for having strong CT, but sometimes a bit of a question for the T sides.
Kerrigan, added late to this roster, just came in December, strat calling for them. His lucky Hedgehog just in front of him there. Hopefully bring him some more luck today, and we'll see how he does it on the T side. Of course, they didn't go forward from a semifinal, but they do have a chance for bronze, and it's going to be against Fnatic. He's going to have to be on his game the entire time. Device, top 20 player in 2014 according to HLTV's ratings, but yesterday kind of trailed off a bit in the third game.
Yeah, I mean, they're now taking much more of a dominant role with the AWP, a guy that's, again, incredibly important, looking for those opportunities like with Dupree. These are the 2 key players to really like bust open those T sides, and of course also just locking it down on the CT sides on these defensive positions with the AWP. He's that handsome man right there. We have ourselves Cajun B. This guy yesterday was actually, to me, it was looking really good, especially on Inferno against, against LDLC. He had a really good game. So expecting really big things from Cajun B on the offense and on the defense. Yeah. This guy is really coming into his own.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was Cajun B versus Kiyoshima at times on who could get the earlier picks in the round, and the teams would build off that. And oftentimes they traded each other off, and I mean, they were both on it. Cajun B is going to have to do the same again today. So Dignitas going into a bronze medal. They got to go up against Fnatic, world #1, who were quite heartbroken not to make it to the gold game, but they still have a chance for a X Games bronze medal, and they're always going to be on it. So take a peek at their roster. Starting up, it's Flusha, normally a top fragger for them. Been a little cold this tournament, but still came through when they needed him in the latter stages of yesterday.
Absolutely, very incredible role that he has. The lurker role is very difficult to pull off, exceptionally well. We've seen Flusha not quite to the form that we usually expect from him, but perhaps today he's going to be much more together and much more clutch as we would see him. Amazing game sense typically. But JW there, the aggressive AWPer, the wild card for the team. This guy sometimes seems almost a bit expendable. The guy can take any kind of risk, but because he's got such strong teammates to back him up, it gives him all this freedom, and this guy lifts the spirits of the team. He's a great communicator and a great asset for Fnatic.
Absolutely. And then it's Pronax. People give him so much credit for being the mastermind of this team, but honestly, he's got so much skill around him. Sometimes he doesn't even need to be, but that said, it's going to be all on him today to take down Dignitas, best of 3. Not sure what maps we'll see yet, but he's got plans on all of them. And then it's Olaf Meister coming in to this roster, has really given them a boost over the last year. And he's definitely one of the players you can never underestimate. He's always in a position to take you down and take you out from an off angle you'd never expect.
Yeah, secondary AWPer there. Very versatile player, very versatile indeed. Typically we're going to see him with this man on many bomb sites. Crims, this guy, honestly, from the performance I saw yesterday, he was absolutely phenomenal. Definitely the MVP for the team. Definitely in contention for MVP of the tournament, despite not making it to the finals. This guy is tip-top, one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Had over 100 ADR, I think, for most of the match against NIP when they were actually trailing in the first map. So he was on point, and he's so efficient. We didn't even mention that today. That's one of his major characteristics, because he can stay alive at a bomb site and get rotates while he just stays alive, simply just by not dying. It helps so much. So that said, we're going to go throw it over to Thorin and Flaren for our vetoes, so we'll find out exactly where we're going to be playing on the first match.
Okay, we're here on what they call Championship Sunday here in North America, MLG for Flaren. So Before we get to that championship match, though, we've got this third place decider. We've got the bronze medal. Remember, in history, you had to start with the bronze age before you could get to the silver age, before gold could be mined from the earth. That's how they set these things up, didn't you know?
Have you been playing a bit of a
Civilization?
Yeah, Civilization. Okay.
Yeah, Civilization's the game. Gandhi is not actually as peaceful as you think. No, so obviously we've got Fnatic versus Team Dignitas. Now what's interesting about this is it's a matchup that we actually don't often get to see at LAN events. Like the last time I can think of that we saw it was in the lower bracket of Fragmite Masters, the Season 3 LAN finals. It was the third place decider rather. No, the fourth place decider, and Dignitas actually were quite handedly beaten there. They had a good mirage, but they still got beaten, and overall it felt like the map pool really favoured Fnatic at the time. Fnatic had a wonderful series yesterday. I think maybe the best series I've ever seen in CSGO. A really thrilling, entertaining 3 maps. Dignitas, on the other hand, it got to 3 maps, but I think LDLC gave them a favour at some point there, you know. So what do you think overall in terms of how are you feeling the initial matchup here?
I think it's going to be a really tough game for Dignitas. Feels like Fnatic is actually the better team, and I wouldn't be surprised if it only goes to 2 maps in this matchup.
Okay, well we've actually got some stats prepared for you guys. So we're going to do an AWPer matchup here. You remember this from yesterday, the split screen? It's not like Tekken. They are actually going to fight now, but they are going to battle with the AWP in-game. So we've got JW, Jay Wonderchild, as he humbly likes to refer to himself as, and Device from Dignitas. So we saw yesterday, and most of this tournament actually, after the first game, Device has embraced this AWPing role. He has been going for it, and I'm glad to see so. In terms of JW, he obviously has the more kills. In terms of the damage, it's pretty even between the two. Number of rounds used, amazingly, Device has actually used it more, which I like to see. I think that's also because JW shied away from the AWP a little bit in the NIP series. Accuracy, Device has actually got a better accuracy. He's hitting more non-lethal hits, but JW's getting more opening kills. Now, I think that also reflects the way these two players use it, because Device is mainly using it on CT side, whereas actually JW, just like Makalele, he's actually using it as best when he's using it aggressively on the T side, because he's just going to get a really quick pick. Like when we think of JW style AWPing, it's the speed he can hit at. It's like crazy, like millimeter off the wall angle he'll hold, not like the traditional space for them to run out. What do you think of the two in terms of AWPing?
Well, actually, JW yesterday versus NIP was pretty lackluster, I must say. He didn't really have a good game, which is what you need when you play a team like Dignitas. Like you're talking about as well, actually on the stats you can actually see that, yeah, sure, JW used the AWP less. He actually got more kills with it, which means he was, in theory, more effective with it. But yeah, that's what we were talking about the whole weekend here, that we actually need, Dignitas needs Device to AWP. And he's been doing a good job at it. It's not like he's a poor player, it's just that during these crucial moments he tends to choke a little bit, and I think that's what happened yesterday as well, a little bit. Yeah. He had his moments, but all in all, he didn't really perform.
Well, that's what will be interesting, because I think both of them maybe choked a little bit in their roles. Like at certain maps, they had kind of off when their team maybe needed them. And if both of them could have come forward, maybe they'd be playing in the final right now. We've got another matchup for you guys, okay. This time, I'd call this a matchup of the guys who are just the all-around talents. So we're going to have Olaf Meister from Fnatic and Cajun B from Dignitas. Now, Olaf Meister we saw, like crazy accuracy. If you look at here, we got similar number of kills actually between the two. Average damage similar again, slight edge over to Cajun B there. In terms of KDR, that goes over in favor of Olaf Meister. Headshot percentage very similar again, clutch kills very similar. So actually quite similar statistically across the board. But when I think of it, I think what happened yesterday was Olaf Meister was pretty good across most maps. He might have been like the second best player on Fnatic, whereas Cajun B just had a monster Inferno game. He was a huge reason why they were able to win Inferno. And then I can't remember if it's the first or the third map. I think it might be in the third map he cooled off a bit. So I think his average got pulled up to here, whereas I think, that's actually hard to say it. I'd say Cajun B can have monster games. I think Olaf Meister is a bit more consistent. What do you think of the two?
Yeah, before I go into that, I just want to point out that the headshot percentage is actually a little bit misleading. This basically just shows that how many hits that you hit the person, how many were per headshot percentages. It's not actually the lethal kill. Okay. So let's say if they're using an M4, the first shot is a headshot, but you actually kill the person in body shot. Yeah. It wouldn't actually list that in terms of in terms of percentage.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, so exactly. So normally these players would have a much higher headshot percentage in terms of when you actually do get the kill.
Well, especially these two players, because these two players, Olaf M especially.
Yeah.
You think of Olaf M, he runs in a sight, and if he kills the guy, it's going to be one bullet. It's going to be the first bullet into the head. That's kind of his speciality. He's very precise on the first bullet, you know.
Yeah, but in regards to these two players, I'm actually quite surprised of Cajun B this tournament. he has been, again, he's been around for forever.
Back
Especially
in your days in
scene.
Source.
Yeah, and he was always a very talented player. It's just that during 2014, he actually was pretty subpar, I must say. And then you have Olofmeister, clearly one of the better players in Fnatic. He's always there, he's very consistent. He's always going to do the job, and he's pretty much tag team with Crims, for example, on the Inferno B.
Okay, so here's what's interesting. Dignitas go first ban Overpass, which is actually their most banned map in the tournament. Now, Fnatic banned Dust 2, which is their second most banned map overall. Understandable why. I mean, think about it. Dignitas was able to get rounds against Fnatic LDLC on it yesterday. Obviously, they almost beat Nip on it. They destroyed Kaboom on it. It's understandably a strong map. Now, Nuke ban there. That's interesting from Dignitas. No, that's the pick. Okay.
Yeah, I like this.
Dignitas pick Nuke. Now, this is a very good pick because we never see Fnatic playing Nuke, and we know what Dignitas can do on Nuke.
Yeah, this is by far the best pick they could hold for. Again, we're not taking anything away from Fnatic. Sure, they never really play it. I think we've seen them play it, for example, during ESEA.
Let me ask you this though. Isn't this a gamble? Because Fnatic could have banned Nuke and they could have let Dust 2 come through. I would have said Fnatic would rather play Dust 2 than Nuke.
Yeah, in theory, but then again, well, actually, yeah, considering how Dignitas actually played Dust 2 yesterday, especially on the T side, I would actually opt to go for.
So, I mean, that makes me wonder, maybe Fnatic knew this, maybe they don't mind playing Nuke. Who knows, maybe because it's the third place game, maybe they want to improve something. So, Mirage is the pick from Fnatic, obviously a wonderful map for Fnatic, despite their loss in epic fashion to Nip, and then the decider will be Cash. Now, I have to say right now, I feel like overall, this actually came out, despite the Nuke going to Dignitas, which I'll give Dignitas the edge on, I feel like overall the map pool has favoured Fnatic here, because I feel like Cash is going to be very strong for them, Mirage very strong. I think actually on Mirage it'll be the most even, I think, but Cash I feel like has to go to Fnatic, and okay, let's give Nuke over to Dig.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's Fnatic was a little bit lucky there getting Cash as the third decider. You still had Cobble in the map pool, Inferno as well, which was a map that Dignitas beat LDLC on yesterday. But in regards to Nuke there, because that's going to be the first map we have here, Fnatic, I'm not going to say that Fnatic is a really poor team on Nuke. No. They can play Nuke. They know how to
we don't ever get to see it.
Exactly. So we don't really know how good they actually are, but I'm pretty sure they practice a little bit of Nuke before coming
With that
here.
said, though, we have seen Dignitas on Nuke. We know they're strong on Nuke. So I actually, from the way that came out with Nuke first, because I was thinking it could be Dust 2, I'm actually going to go 2-1. So I'm going to say Fnatic win 2-1. I'll give Dignitas can win Nuke. What do you think?
Yeah, if they did, because we were, like I was thinking about this before, and if that Nuke pick, because I actually thought Fnatic would veto Nuke.
Yeah, I thought so.
Leaving Nuke out, I actually do believe that Dignitas will get one map, and that will be Nuke, and then it's going to go into Mirage. Again, Dignitas is a good Mirage team, but Fnatic is better. Yeah. And then going into Cash, we saw how Cash went yesterday versus LDLC for Dignitas. I really don't think they stand a chance in that map. So 2-1 Fnatic.
So if Dig is going to win, it better be the first two maps. Yeah, I'm on board with that. In terms of Nuke itself, since we rarely get to see Fnatic actually play Nuke, okay, and last time I saw them play it was the one against iBad Power in the FaceIt Season 2 LAN finals, and they struggled on T-side. So I'm going to expect they need a monster CT half. Is there a player, if you think of on Nuke, where he could really have a difference for Fnatic, and he could give them a chance to beat a great team like Dignitas on Nuke?
On the T-side?
Either.
Well, we're going to go on the T-side here, actually. I'm going to say Flusha.
Okay.
Mainly because, okay, Dignitas, the way that the Danish people play Nuke, they play a very rotated base playstyle on CT side. They're very impact together. If they go lower, you're going to have 3 guys there right away. If they rush upper, they're always going to be very close to each other. Okay. And this is in terms of playstyles. For example, you see NIP. NIP is always very spread out in terms of map control on the CT side. Dignitas, they don't do that. They're very impact. So if they go outside, you're going to see one from main. You're going to see one outside and one under catwalk. Straight away, you're always going to have 3 at each spot that Fnatic will hit. And that is why Dignitas are so good on the CT side on Nuke, because they're everywhere, anywhere.
I'm going to pick my guy for Fnatic if they have a chance to win Nuke. I think it has to be JW, because when he can use that AWP, or when he can even use the rifle, and he can be aggressive on T side, and he can get an opening. Now, we've seen Fnatic, usually, aside from the game against Nip, usually they actually struggle on T sides. Like, here's the thing to understand. Maybe I should add some context. People always misunderstand when I say that. When I judge this sort of a game now, I'm judging at this stage of a tournament versus this level of competition. When you're playing top 5, top 4 teams in a semi-final, in a third place, in a final, how do they do then? We're not talking about online, or we're not talking about in the group stage. How do they do? in those, if they play against some team like Hellraisers, they could probably run over them on T side. The difference is against these really good teams who are also amazing on CT, Fnatic isn't that great at grinding. Actually, yesterday's series, that was one of the most miraculous parts for me. Yeah, Nip played amazing and were amazing there. I couldn't believe that Fnatic ground out all those T rounds on Inferno. I really thought they'd lost the series 2-0 at that point.
Yeah. In regards to JW there, actually Nuke isn't really that much of an op map.
No, but the thing is you could use it for one pick-off. Like
yeah, exactly. Like exactly.
Outside.
You can, but in terms of because you will always smoke off ramp right away, and to actually go down lower from outside from yard, you actually don't need the op because there's 2 smokes you can just put, and you don't even need the op. It's sure if things doesn't work out the way Fnatic wants to, yeah, sure, JW can actually pick up the op, maybe try and go for a pick on the outside, but it's not really needed. I would actually like to see JW more with the rifle actually this map, because the op I don't think is going to do that much work.
I also feel like because Dignitas is a really skilled team overall, I think the fact that, listen, they know they're not going to win the tournament anymore, that's over. They can now win the bronze medal. Meanwhile, Fnatic probably feel like they should be playing in the final, but they're not. I feel like actually that gives a little bit of the morale to Dignitas. Like Dignitas, there won't be as much pressure on them as, like the whole thing of them choking, I don't think that's going to be a bigger deal. I think this game actually will be fairly straightforward. Both teams will just play and they'll just see what happens and no one will be going too hardcore. So take it away, please, DDK and Sadakist.
All right, guys, we're into the pistol here between Fnatic and Team Dignitas here at the MLG X Games for the bronze match. And already things are starting off fairly slowly. As Dignitas take their time, got a bit of lobby control to kick things off.
They're going to try and push into Hut. There's a bit of a crossfire. Crims from Mini. Now JW pushed up by the door. So they can't quite get through easily. Olaf's pushed up with the cover of smoke, but Dupree starts things off. That's JW down. That's one of the upper players. We'll see if they build on that. Meanwhile, outside, Kerrigan's trying to take a one-on-one with Flusha. Pronax is going to rotate around and cover off that inside position, and they are going to push directly onto him. Crims gets one through the window. Pronax closes it out. Flusha wins the battle outside, so it's all Zipnix and Device in a 2-on-3. And watch out because they're getting pushed from behind, but they're wise to it. They catch out Olaf Meister, and now Flusha responds. So Zipnix with 24 HP, a bomb to work with, has to run it around, but you can't use the advantage on Nuke quite like other maps when you've only got 2 defenders because it's so quick to rotate. So even though he's already gone lower, they're already there. Flusha takes him down, 1-0 Fnatic.
And that's a relief there for Fnatic. I mean, you never want to give away those easy T rounds just by losing that CT pistol. It could be really, really stressful as well. We can see how chaotic it can be. Really nice hold on the upper side there from Fnatic. Dignitas almost swung that back actually with the 2-on-1s that they were finding. But as you said, like this is such a hard map. And it's one of the kind of more interesting elements of this map that you can play the rotation game really fast from the upper to lower side using the vents for the CTs. Fnatic using that to great effect, and we're going to see now the pistols coming in from Team Dignitas. They didn't get a bomb down. A couple of mags here for Fnatic as well. Mag is a really good weapon on this map. And the bomb is going to go down outside. Crims just locking down the main area. And
yeah, he and Flusha, great crossfire there, so they get denied already. And
did find himself a mag though.
Worth holding on to. I don't know if anyone watching caught Hiko on Nuke last week with the mag. You couldn't get out Hut. A was locked down, so it is definitely a weapon you can use on Nuke, perhaps better than even other maps, better than B at Inferno.
They know he has a mag as well, so they need to absolutely just never push him here. Just this is perfect here. Just, there you go. See, Crims almost going down to that, but very smart there. Fnatic, if they were to like actually try and push there, they could actually lose a couple players, and it's really key that they don't lose any money this early on at the moment. So we're going to see Dignitas again going for just some pistols, very light investment here, which is indicative that they're going to want to go really huge on the buy in the following rounds. So you could even see AWP straight up, just full grenade setups. It's going to be very interesting to see what they have planned in the following rounds, but so far for Fnatic, so good.
So full save, although Device does go for a Tech 9. They do invest into a few pistols, but T-side you can actually afford to do that 2 rounds in a row because the guns are significantly less expensive than on the CT half. JW, look at this. He's going to try and use that smoke to his advantage, pushing up with that Mag 7. No one's going to push directly in onto him, though, so he might not get anything from it. And if that goes away, oh, well, never mind. They're going to re-smoke it. Although that one went a little bit deeper, and I think there actually might be a bit of a gap. Yeah, there is just down low, so they could spot him out here if he's not careful. He's going to have to wait this. Dupree just to his right, Device back toward the main entrance. And now they look to group. JW gets the first one. What a distant shot. Mag 7, come on, man. And now he's going to get another one. They're just going to walk into him, but Device with that Tech 9 does get the headshot. Crims goes back into Kerrigan. So they are just walking into upper and into their own deaths as they all go down in the end. And 3-0 now for Fnatic, but now we're going to see a gun round. And Team Dignitas with the hard job because this is Nuke and they didn't get the start from the pistol round.
Yeah, absolutely. But in comes the buy now. They're going to actually go full AK, so we're not going to see any shenanigans within AWP, which is very interesting. I would love to see the, the smoke, all the smoke outside, just to make sure that the AWP for JW isn't going to really pay off here. I mean, before I made the point, this isn't really an AWP map. Reason being is because it's so easy to shut down the long ranges outside. That's the major reason. And we're gonna see a Zipnix here with a smoke. Where is he gonna throw this one? What do Dignitas have planned here? Looks like he might go through the roof. Is he? He's gonna. I think it's for Heaven actually. That's gonna indicate that they want to go for a bit of an upper play. This could be very interesting here to see an upper execute here from Dignitas. On Fnatic gonna be ready for this. JW there on the ramp, ever watchful with that AWP. As they wait patiently for some sign of these Danes, but they are yet to give anything away.
Interesting that they elected to take the off immediately into ramp as opposed to outer.
It could be actually a fake as well. There's other things teams do to force rotations. So we'll have to see if they're going to go for the fake or if they're just going to go for it. Looks like they're going to rush out the hut and go for it through the smokes. Pronax not blind actually. He's got really good engagements here. It does take only one frag though. 3 on 3 here. And it's going to actually be Dignitas now with a man advantage. CageNB locking down the Heaven angle now as Flusher rotates through onto main. He's got 3 players to deal with that M4. Not the best circumstance for the man from Fnatic. These nades are going to be flooding in here, and they know exactly where he is. The bomb's going to go down, and this is a great setup here from Dignitas. No way for Flusher to break this. Even smoked off, insult added to injury, and there is no way through that for Flusher.
Yeah, he's got to back off at this point. He might be able to at least take another gun out of the terrorist's hands, but holding on to the M4 for himself. By the way, he's had a pretty quick start. He's already up to 5 kills, so things looking a little better, hopefully, for Flusher today. He's actually going to try and get up on Heaven, yeah, just looking for anyone who still might be lingering inside, but no one's there, so he'll fall back and get out of the sight. Great execution from Dignitas. They answered perfectly, actually, by going the short side of the stacks, because Pronax didn't have line of sight, and that let 3 people get in before they even lost anyone.
And actually, that round's like really, really nice to show a team early on, because as I said, there's actually a way to use this round and generate a level of obscurity. So you throw all the smokes and the flashes, you get the Heaven smoke, you get some good smokes and flashes onto the site through the roof, and from lobby into hut and through door and so on. And to the CTs, it just looks like a complete upper rush. They can't see anything, there's smokes everywhere, but you can force the rotation, hit ramp as a guy rotates to leave ramp, and then all of a sudden you've got a really nice fake going on. So you might see that in the future, but just the wall of smokes outside for now. They know that the AWP is safe, so JW is definitely someone they need to be mindful of. Some good pre-nades though. It's a bit of damage there with the device to pre and CageNB.
And Flusha's the man out there again. And Krim's smartly rotating around into Secret already. He's going to catch out Kerrigan. That's bombed down. Now Pronax jumps in as he takes down Dupree. And Krims isn't done, but CageNB says he is, as he does get the kill. And also turning around, great awareness. Flusha caught entirely off guard as he came out of the big garage. And now JW getting pressured up close with the AWP. Can't land that first shot. So it remains 3 on 3. CageNB on 11 HP. But everyone else still relatively healthy. Now they slow things down because they know there's going to be a reset from Fnatic. They know they've rotated into lower, so they've got to see if they can come up with a better plan and try and get in on one of these bomb sites.
There we go, JW smoked off there. They're going to know that he's in the vents. He's going to rattle off a shot there. Has to reposition as Olfmeister does take a kill onto Zipnix here. So Device and CageNB working onto some level of position here. Just playing the clock as best as they can at the moment, trying to see what advantages they can find. And there it is, look, they're going to spot one player, and that's going to cue the aggression. They get the trade here. Here goes Device, gets the shot onto Pronax. He goes down from Heaven. That's an opportunity now with 10 seconds left. Bomb goes down. 1-on-1 against Olofmeister as Device takes a post-plant position here. And this is the most classic of post-plant positions here for the most classic of one-on-ones.
And that flashbang gives away the fact that he's not going to be coming around from radio, so all Device has to do is sit outside the site and wait.
He can wallbang him as well. This is really rough if Olofmeister goes for the defuse here.
That nade does take him down to 33. Olaf, a bit of help from that, but he still hasn't peeked, and all he's going to do, he's going to try and hold it. He's behind the boxes. Oh no, peek out sooner. Is he going to get him? He fakes off of it. Olaf, so smart, but does he have the defuse? Oh. He does not. He couldn't hold it long enough. And Fnatic, unfortunately, give up that one to Dignitas as well. Device looking smart today. I called him out yesterday in that third map, but he's on right now.
Yeah, after yesterday's, I think he sent out a tweet as well saying that he was a bit disappointed in his performance, how he trailed off towards the end of that series that they had and against LDLC. And again, as we mentioned many times, Device, key player here to be performing for Dignitas. There cannot be any underperformances against a team such as Fnatic. And we're going to see what looks to be the similar smoke setup outside here from Dignitas, just to make sure they wall it off. And again, this is something that's really important. It's a very small investment, $600 for those 2 smokes, yet they have no idea, unless they push those smokes, they have no idea if you're actually moving towards secret. There's just no way to actually tell unless they push it, or if they have a guy on the outer catwalk. So there's actually a bit of a gap there between the smokes, but there you go. There's 2 players outside kind of dedicated to deal with this, as the main push is going to come through ramp. There's 2 players here now on the crossfire. They do have only pistols. KGB does spray down Pronax. Olafmeister smartly falling back down as Karrigan covers the flank. Excellent play here from Dignitas. Can Fnatic get any damage though with these pistols?
Olafmeister going to be the first to find out, as he is pushed up on the opposite side of this garage door. Sometimes they aren't aware of it, but Dignitas far too experienced for that. So dupreeh gets the kill, and now it all comes down to Flusha because Crims is taken down in control. Karrigan's waiting on the backside, so all done again, all tied up. Great from Dignitas, 3 straight rounds despite losing the pistol on T side. This is looking very good.
Yeah, and it was mentioned before also by our lovely analyst that I think not necessarily really much of a nuke side, not a team that tends to play a huge amount, and Team Dignitas, I have seen many great nuke games from them. They are a really good nuke side. We're already seeing them pull out 3 rounds. They didn't get the pistol, let's remember, and yet they are already on 3 rounds after 6 have been played. So that is very intimidating here for Fnatic, as we see a pretty fast upper execute. JW on the roof, going to take down 2 quick frags. Does get traded upon as they march into the bomb site. Dignitas looking quite good on the site now, but it's a 2-on-2. Flusha through the smoke, drops the bomber, and now it's on Device, as he is against 2. Lots of time to play with. He's going to find a quick one on Flusha, and picks up the bomb as well. So it's going to quiet down a little bit now, as he has to work out where Olaf is.
Oh, he knows. He made a noise, absolutely. Device was clutch in the first one. He's got 3 kills already in this round, man, oh man. Playing like he wants to make up not only for yesterday, but take over the world right now. Olaf, the only one standing in his way. He's going to go through. Olaf holding that angle, but Device is on fire right now. Takes him down easily. 4-3, Team Dignitas rolling right now.
That was really smart as well, that just that 15-20 second delay, just like to wait in Squeaky, because the Olafmeister was kind of focused on just being able to either drop down vents really quickly or on the hut, not expecting for Device to just wait there. So that's just a smart little thing there, because he obviously knew where Olaf was, and Olaf had no idea where he was. Either way, 4-3, Fnatic really need to find an answer here soon. Their economy obviously in tatters at the moment, as they are going for this save once again. And Dignitas looking quite strong, going to make a big movement outside with lots of pre-nades. They know that the money is weak for Fnatic, that their weaponry is weak. So Dignitas is going to roll on through and hope to pick this one up cleanly. Fnatic though, with the pistols, there are a lot of close range angles. It's much the same principle as the mag, where the mag is good on this map. You got a lot of close range battles. You stick to the vents, stick to the close ranges on the doors and the hut and so on. You can see Olafmeister there on long, below on the lower site. So Dignitas just have to take it slow and easy now.
Got an inside secret. There's no one up close, so they will get around the corner. But then they'll come under siege, because there has been a few rotations down toward lower. JW's still outside of that vent, but as you can see, Olafmeister's inside control room. dupreeh lurking in that direction. Olaf's holding the angle. Meanwhile, Crims caught out Karrigan, and dupreeh catches out Olaf beautifully right there. So now it's 4-on-4, but they have picked up a gun for Crims, as JW now takes down KGB. Zipnik's back into Pronax. Can they get this plant, though? They're rotating in through the vents. He doesn't have any smoke to cover him off. He's going to have to rely on his teammates getting there. JW's already back in the bottom side of the stairwell, so he would immediately take down the planter, but dupreeh catches him off. So now they have a chance to get it down, as Device will hold out Flusha as well. So Crims all to do, 1-on-3. He does pick up that AK-47. The question is, they are going to be able to buy next round regardless. Does he go for it and try and get them back in this, or just save it and try and hold on for later in the half? They've already given up 4 or 5 on Nuke. Is an incredible feat, let alone this early in the half. He's going to continue to just sit there and wait for someone to peek him. He does catch out dupreeh. Is Device going to go for it, or will they fall out the backside? They know where he is. Zipnik's doesn't care. He takes him down.
Yeah, Krim's very dangerous in that spot. You can see that how aware he is of exactly how they're trying to play against him, how they're trying to bait out peaks and get him to look in the wrong spot and so on. But Dignitas is actually finding so much success on the upper area and also the upper pushes and also ramp that I would actually like to see them just continue doing that, because they're finding a weakness in the defensive setups. We've seen a dry rush with almost no nades. We've seen pushes with nades on upper. Both have been very successful to break Fnatic's economy, and JW, that also means that he's not a factor in the defense. So if Dignitas keep these plays up with these consistent smokes outside as we're seeing, then Fnatic are in a lot of trouble, because Fnatic, they kind of want them to go outside at this point into JW. And there we go, JW picking up Dupree.
And he's playing his typical hybrid style, because that's the third position we've seen him in now. So good to see that he's willing to work the map. Shazam is another one who, although in this tournament didn't really show it, is oftentimes very good at that on Nuke. And they did actually, their only game they played well was on Nuke. Look at this, now he's going to push all the way into Hut with the AWP, and it pays off. He gets Zipnix. Man, oh man, JW fearless. He's still in there. They are going to flash him off. They're going to rush him. He goes for the no-scope. Oh, just missing on that one. So Device gets the kill in the end, and now they are going to push Olaf at ramp. So Dignitas have opened up a little bit of room to work, but watch out. Flush is already on Turnpike. He pops out. Device, though, immediately takes him down. Pronax, though, gets Kerrigan in response because he was on a very low HP. So 2-on-2, they work into lower.
And this is the man you want for the job. Krim's there behind the silo. Can he make this work here? He's going to take the first frag onto Device. Cajun B now in a 1-on-1 against Krims, who has Protoss fast approaching. He does take down Protoss on the flank, but Krims locking it down. Great work. Doesn't even take a single bullet there. And that's Fnatic winning that round. But I gotta say, only JW is going to be in the hut, like behind, like right up against the smoke with an AWP. I'm just like, I don't know if I've seen that. Really.
I don't think anyone else in this world would do that.
But you can see how well Dignitas are performing in these one-on-ones, in these duels. They're actually generally getting the better of Fnatic. And Fnatic, they lost so many players in that round. You can see they're on Famasis and Mag. Their economy is really shaky at the moment. And it's kind of far away for Dignitas to eco. And they're going to go for a quick upper push. Again, they know how successful this can be. Running and gunning with the AKs, able to pick up 2 entries. Got JW lurking by the vents, but no one down for Dignitas. And the bomb is planted.
This kind of works two ways. He can't do anything on the entry because he's smoked off, but that means they might actually potentially overlook that spot because he's been there so long, so quietly. He actually goes through Squeaky, though, doesn't go directly into it, and he's going to get caught out by Device as a result. Man, Device is on fire this morning, no question about it. Already on 14 frags, by the way. His next best teammate, 6. So talk about a one-man carry. Flusha now outside. All that is left does get one, and in fact, it is Device. Sorry, I jinxed you, my friend. But they come out with another straight round. Unbelievable performance.
Dignitas are really just, as I mentioned earlier, like just really honing in on this weakness of upper. Again, they just rushed in. They just rushed in upper, and they didn't even use any nades. They just try to like beat the CTs on the timing and just try to get the entries. And if Dignitas are able to win rounds like that, that is incredibly bad for Fnatic. And this is obviously a map that is a must-win. This cannot go to 3 maps. This cannot go to cash if Dignitas want to win this bronze medal match. It just cannot.
Well, they get the hard challenge of Mirage as well, so they need this start. Doing everything they can. Zipnik's going to contribute as well. Takes down Krims, who's been the best player for Fnatic thus far, so a good early kill. And again, Fnatic on the save. How many times have they had to do that in this round? And in fact, the one round that they won was right in the middle of a streak that might have given them a bit of money to work with, so it's been...
Their smoke's a bit off there, by the way. One thing to note.
Takes a lot of damage as a result, so he'll fall back only using that P2000. Look at JW being aggressive again, pushed up inside Squeaky. If Zipnix wanted to go that way, he might get caught off guard by it. But they've already worked slowly and accurately calculated toward that secret entrance. Pronax has rotated back around onto Heaven to change up things, but he's only got a very little amount of HP left.
This is really nice now. Zipnix is holding down lobby, so that's a really important position in rounds like this. But it doesn't even really matter because you got Dignitas just all over the entry frags into the upper bomb site, so Zipnix doesn't really need to help them out all that much. But bomb will go down, and we're going to have just JW left. But just to quickly talk about Zipnix's position there, holding down lobby in rounds like this where there's 4 outside gives the T so many options, because if they do go down secret, they're going to make a lot of noise. Xyp9x can prevent rotation from ramp into lobby, and he can also, if they don't detect him, actually backstab really effectively as the players drop down from heaven or they go down vents. He can like backstab them there, so, or in a situation like that, he can help a ramp push. Like there's so much for Xyp9x to do in that spot. It's kind of like your lurker role, so something to watch out for in future rounds. But at this rate, Fnatic, I don't know how long they're going to stay in this Nuke game. Dignitas are looking very strong at the moment.
And you have to question, knowing that Dignitas is such a good CT-sided team, why would you leave Nuke in the pool? So this all comes back to Fnatic's veto decisions ultimately, and JW now, oh, look at this. He's right beside Xyp9x. They don't know they're there, though. Oh, no, where is he gone? He's gone back around the corner, so there's nothing going to come of that, despite that they honestly could have shaken hands there if they wanted to. Crims, meanwhile, still holding off Mini. Xyp9x has already gotten outside, around, and down the stairs. He's in the control room, completely uncontested. Is CageNB still outside as well? Xyp9x, if he wanted to, could actually go for an unorthodox flank right now, come up ramp behind them, and they wouldn't even be aware of it, although there is one player that just dropped down. I do believe that was JW inside the vents. But they still don't know he's there. So that possibility still exists. Olaf, though, does come under a little bit of pressure now inside ramp. They've got the flash onto him. He drops immediately. Not a bad play. He's got to stay alive, stay efficient, especially with quick rotations for his teammates. CageNB, though, does get flushed. And now JW up on top of Hut, unable to take down dupreeh. And he ends up dying in the end. Crims with a double, though, trying to respond for Fnatic. Has it down to only a one-man advantage, for Dignitas. But they plant upper. Xyp9x takes down Pronax, so it's all but done now for Dignitas. 8 rounds on T side. The best performance I've seen in a long time.
It's a nice round, actually. Dignitas just slowly working angles together, just to use the advantage that they had, AKs against stuff like Thanasis and Mags and stuff like that. So just a really slow, methodical push from them, using that individual skill very effectively. And it's still, to me, a huge worry how easily it is, or how easy it is for Dignitas to just take upper. It just, because we haven't really seen them need to do anything else. It's just been all about the upper rounds, and then they keep breaking the economy of Fnatic. Every time Fnatic start to bring things back a little bit, they lose a lot of players on some of these retakes. These rounds are really close. Then all of a sudden, they're like, okay guys, we've got to buy, let's win this next round, and then boom, just an upper rush with no nades, and then their economy's broken again. So 8-4, really a scoreline you would never expect on a Nuke, or you'd never be happy with from Fnatic's perspective. So again, pistols for them. So many eco rounds for them, so many. But at least for Dignitas, it's going to make them feel really, really good early on in this best of 3. And
Eagle for Flusha. For that magic shot outside. Olafmeister's pushed up. He's only got 27. Oh my goodness, the reactions from CageNB. Snapped immediately over, took him down easily, and now they resume a one-man advantage, but he did get taken down to 1 HP in the process. Important to note, because it would be an easy kill for these pistols. Flusha's going to try and resume that aggression, and Crims actually is inside Hut. Xyp9x is right around the corner. Xyp9x comes around. He knows he's there, gets the easy headshot. And now there's only 3 players and very little HP left for Fnatic as they try and shut this down on an eco.
Yeah, the game sense from Dignitas is really, really strong. They can feel all of their weaknesses. It's like any kind of a fight when you have a certain guard up, okay, you're kind of weak to a punch from this angle, or that kind of stuff. They always know the angles in which they're weakest. And Fnatic are going to try to zoom in on those angles.
Wow, dupreeh.
Yeah, that's why he's on this team. That is why he's there. So 9-4 now. Dignitas looking absolutely phenomenal here. Fnatic going to have quite an interesting T side of their own. They want to bring this one back. And we're going to have an AWP on device now. We haven't seen that happening much for them on the T side.
And speaking of him, I may have jinxed him. He was at 14 when his teammates were at 6. He's since gone a little colder, only picked up 2 frags since. But dupreeh stepped it up a lot in his place and has 11 now. So it's good to know someone's willing to fill in, because he couldn't do it alone. And Dignitas are playing extremely well now. There's 2 rounds left in the half, and they've already got full control when they switch over towards CT. Keep in mind, they also did not win the pistol. How often do you see someone win out a Nuke side when they don't win a pistol on terrorists? And that's phenomenal. But this time, Fnatic has an answer. Crims with 1. Pronax and Flusha contribute as well. And Xyp9x and Device have a combined 14 HP. And Device with that AWP for the first time hasn't found anything, although he's not done trying to find as he does look toward that hut. Man, he could just wallbang if he wanted to, but doesn't have the knowledge to do so. Xyp9x up on top of the roof. Might catch out JW as he crossed over into Secret. Doesn't do so. So he's in the driver's seat for a quick double kill. He does see his foot. He's got low HP. You can take that shot, my friend. One bullet will do it. It doesn't matter. He waits it out. He gets it. And now he turns the corner. An easy one onto Device as well. So JW's aggression pays off, and they get a 5th round.
Yeah, Fnatic. That round, though, wasn't necessarily a display of Fnatic's ability to like rotate well, read them out well together as the CT side, and have strong setups and good work, good work with the grenades. It was just the individual skill of these players and how explosive it can be. Dignitas caught on the wrong side of that, allows Fnatic to pick up a round. However, it is still very, very hard for them. 5-9. Going to be going into the last round of the first half here on Nuke. And again, this is, if you guys are fans of awesome best of 3s, the next 2 maps are really good for Fnatic. Really, really good for Fnatic, Mirage and Cash. So really important for Dignitas to get good emotions rolling right now. And they are absolutely looking confident. Device pushing outside. Pronax able to pick up a couple kills, though, finally seeing more action here from Fnatic.
Pronax actually wallbanged Device on top of Twinkie from Heaven. So good awareness from him, good call from his teammate Flusha, who is outside to make that happen. Cajun B, though, responds with an op. Takes down JW, so Cajun B going to pick up that gun now. As they are still a man behind in the round. It is the last of the first half. See if they can make something of this, but really, they've got so much to work with. It isn't that crucial for them. In fact, Fnatic need this a lot more, as Flusha does spam away onto Secret, does take down Zipnix, that's the bomb. So Cajun B, the last that's left, with an op. A clutch and an op in this situation would be highlight material, undoubtedly. Let's see if he can make some magic happen. Try and use that hole in the door to his advantage. But look at Flusha waiting patiently, and he hears the door, he pops up, but oh my goodness, Cajun B, the reaction shot! Oh, he tries to do it twice, not gonna happen. Pronax does get Fnatic the 6th round, but it's all Dignitas heading on to the second half. They are firmly in control.
And this is how it has to happen for Dignitas. Of course, Fnatic are still going to be able to definitely put a good show on their T side. However, really big result. And this is where Dignitas are scary. It's not necessarily the T sides that are supposed to be like dramatically scary. The CT on Nuke for them is pretty insane. I mean, Fivlaren brought up how well they rotate. And the other thing about Dignitas as well is that not only do they have strong setups on areas like ramp and upper, that usually will encourage teams to be like, okay, well, it's hard for us to break this area, so we're going to try to work outside. Dignitas are really, really strong outside as well. They're very, very good at playing the angles together. We saw how amazing their aim can be, and that they're feeling quite on at the moment. So Dignitas, I'm expecting just a complete, like a massive CT half from them. Obviously, there's not necessarily a lot of rounds left for them on the CT half because they've already got 9, but Fnatic, I really want to see them win that T pistol. I really want to see them like put on like a really, really nice show on some of these buy rounds, see some executes from them, and see how they're going to break what is definitely going to be a good defense from the Danes.
And the pistol round's going to have to start it off big. And we're going to get into it right now. Fnatic on the back foot in the first map. Bronze medal at the first ever CSGO X Games on the line in Aspen, Colorado. And Fnatic already disadvantaged. The world #1 expected to be playing for gold. Now they've got to come back in the first map for bronze. But like you said, the next 2 maps do favor them heavily, so don't rule them out just yet.
Sort of the mastermind there, Pronax, famed for his free-form calling on the fly calls that have carried Fnatic to so many victories. So here we go, into this pistol. Fnatic on the Glock trains here, armor all around here. They mean business as they roll into that ramp site.
Though just caught the head of Flusha as he entered, so great start for them. They actually come out on top of it.
He backs away as well, very smart, drops the smoke. That's going to give his teammates time to reposition around what movement there is. But look at this, JW going straight down the vent there, and undetected largely it would seem. Does have someone hot on his heels. JW going to find a one-on-one, but Zipnix still trying to hold the line there. JW with a bit of an altercation there, however, he does manage to get out of that fight unscathed. Slow down a little bit. Fnatic finally decide to hit the switch, go in for the bomb site, and they're just clearing all the positions. JW locking down long. That's a good bit of burst there to take the frags. 3-on-3 now as the bomb does go down. The clock on the CTs, but Dupree coming in with 2 big frags on the USP. There's Device working the upper angle. Dupree wrapping around from the side and from long on the window. Device catches Kratos, and Pronax falls as well, and Dignitas pull out the pistol. Great retake from them.
I was really surprised Pronax reopened that door to help his teammates. Oftentimes you'll see them try and just wait it out inside Toxic, but With his position given away, there was nothing he could do in the 1-on-3. So Dignitas with a pistol on the second half. They didn't get it on the first one, but still got 9 rounds. Could very much walk away. And that's good for confidence because we do move on to Mirage next, and Fnatic are very potent on that map. They've got to have the motivation to answer the call. We are going to see a scout come out for JW. We'll see if he can find some magic deep inside the barrel of that gun. And Tech 9s for everybody else. We'll see if they rush it in or where they're going to go. It's still up in the air. In fact, they are going to put that scout up above on top of Twinkie, so they'll scout outside, look for an early pick. But Device isn't really peeking. JW's got no opportunity. He's just sitting up on top of the wooden boxes by CT Red. Now he rotates around. Now he would be in position. Flush is also lurking. He might be able to bait him out for him. But he's still not going to show his hand.
Team Dignitas, they know that it's very, very likely that Fnatic have the pistol armor, and the CZ and Tech 9 is very potent on the close range. The Scout JW very dangerous as well, so they're just taking a very cautious approach. You can note how they aren't taking any aggressive or open angles, how they're trying to stay out of the close range engagements, and trying to maximize the efficiency of their SMGs and rifles against what is to be the pistol armor of their opponents. Device actually does have some, here's some stepping. He's going to try to make sure he can just catch them on the flank here. So Device might just blow up the round here for Fnatic. Device going to pick up the frag onto JW. That's all he's going to get though. Flusher turning around. Zipnik's going to be locking down the ramp as well. So they know what's going on now. Fnatic kind of trapped at this point. It's another frag onto Pronax, as Carrigan uses that P90 to great effect. And
he always has, hasn't he? A lot of times this weekend in the second round he's grabbed that gun. He's not alone either because Dupree's got one too.
And they are getting sandwiched. KGB lost 2 frags, and Dignitas going to be handling that very, very effectively. Repositioning, rotating around the opponents very, very well. And Device with a nice movement there. I think he just had a couple of steps. He was hidden outside and caught them off guard, so that was a pretty big play from him as well. So 11-6 now the score, as Fnatic are going to go for the full save, and we can expect a more easy round for Dignitas here before we reach the buy of Fnatic.
Fnatic's flag distribution is pretty good with the exception of Olaf, and it's actually pretty close to that of Dignitas, so a lot of these rounds have been close. And that's speaking about the former half when they were on CT, so still got a lot of work. Dignitas using a smoke to help Kerrigan getting close with that P90 this time. Device is upgraded. Pardon me, Dupree rather has upgraded into that A1, and Zipnix is going to get challenged because they're lining up, but oh my goodness, he catches Olaf through the smoke. He's used a lot of bullets, he's going to round, he can't catch the rest of them on the train, but he does get Pronax switching over to the pistol. He'll also get Flusha, and CajunB gets his second as he takes down JW. What a great hold from them as ramp is completely closed.
So now it's serious business here for Fnatic. Full buy, all the nades, all the AKs, all the armor, all the helmets. Let's see if they have a good plan for this one. And the thing is that this could be pretty effective for them because this is that round where the Ts are like, okay, well, we lost the pistol, but now, okay, we got our first buy, we got AK still, but they know that the CTs, that they still have some pharmacists. They even have like the P90 still on Carrigan. So Fnatic have the picking advantage here. So you would expect that that would be kind of a play that they would go for. They are very, very strong at plays like that, and you can see that they're trying to work for the outside. And Dignitas showing their aggression, showing their hand here. Aggressive smokes to try to lock down Fnatic. We do see the trade onto Dupree though, but good damage done. A few players tagged down, and Fnatic losing Flusher early on here.
And they've opened up outside, which does give them options if they can get inside secret and secure it. Device is still lurking though, and those smokes are deteriorating. He spots up one more. Can't get the shot, doesn't want to take that fight. He knows there's more lurking just around the corner, so it would be a huge disadvantage for him. As KGB is going to go rafters, I thought he might try and actually get outside onto heaven. But Olaf's still toward lobby. Pronax is actually heading back that direction, so I'm a bit surprised. If they could just take down Zipnix, they would have free access onto that B site. Of course, they'd have to deal with those quick rotations through vents. But they're regrouping and actually looking like they want to go upper. So it's all going to be on Kerrigan as they come through the door, as well as CajunB, and CajunB gets spotted up. Now shots on him. Meanwhile, Zipnix takes down Olaf at ramp, but JW immediately responds. So back and forth again. They've taken the bomb the other way. I thought they were lining up to go upper. Krims is going to close them off. There it is. That's exactly what I said. All they had to do was deal with those vent rotations, and lower is all theirs. It's on Device now.
Device is one of those players that has insane amounts of talent on Dignitas, so we'll have to see what he's going to be able to actually pull off. It looks like he's going to just go for the save, which is of course, going to allow him to keep that M4 alive, the armor and the kit that he has. He's got a lot of value in his hands, so it's definitely a smart move for him. Right now it's 12-6 for Dignitas, so they're not really sweating it at all, losing around like this. But great stuff there from Crims, actually catching those 2 frags around the vent area. And this guy yesterday was just completely insane. He was actually carrying Fnatic for a lot of spots, getting all the entries, getting insane defenses, just creating opportunities for his team, being clutch in moments where they really needed him to step up. Definitely the standout player was Crims. And we'll have to see if Fnatic can actually keep the ball rolling. But now Dignitas, they've lost those SMGs, those silencers they were hanging on to. Now Device is going to pick up the AWP, and you can bet your bottom dollar that he's going to be taking that towards the outside here. I would be very fearful for Fnatic if they are to run into that. We'll have to see how they decide to actually approach the outside now that they could definitely anticipate an AWP there.
Yeah, flash peek potentially. They're trying to just jump up. Device almost standing on that shot. Would have been huge. They're going to drop down from Twinkie. He knows they're all there. He hasn't found the shot he's looking for just yet. So he'll readdress his angle, because with each inch they come closer, the less effective that AWP becomes. Dupree coming around now into Secret down below KGB, who's on the catwalk. So yeah, they've got them pinched if they try and push forward, but Fnatic realize they haven't done much to get control there. No picks, so they fall back, and now they're going to head inner.
And that's exactly what Fiflara is talking about. That rotation was insanely fast and really efficient and safe from Dignitas. 3 men, it was just Device, but then 3 men after about 10 seconds after Device made the call of how many players he saw on the outside. Fnatic realizing this, respecting that, changing up the play now. Ready to hit the upper movement as Dignitas are still to work out what's going on. Here it is, though. Carrot going to be locking it down. Dupree, KGB, all chiming in with frags of their own. It is looking very grim, but it's Crims, the man for Fnatic, left in a 1-on-3. Does take down another frag. KGB falls, but Crims is too low. Gets removed by Carrigan, who had a very nice defense there. And Dignitas hold the upper strong.
So immediate response to losing the first gun. They're back into it here. 13, 3 rounds away from the first map, going the way of Dignitas. Fnatic never rule them out. They're going to come back with a fight, but Nuke not playing to their advantages by any means, and they're back to pistols in this one as well. Device still with that op. We'll see him head back toward outer.
All right, so pistols here for Fnatic as Dignitas come ever closer to closing this one out. Their city side yet to be really tested as the pistols march their way through the outside. Good angles here from Dignitas. Very nice stuff there from Dupree and KGB. Device has the angles on lock as well, so there is no getting past this, it would seem.
Not at all. And a great team rotation again. They were both there. They both contributed. It's normally that you're a little late sometimes getting outer, but Dignitas is on form. Device finds Splusha. KGB there to support him as well, so even if they get up close to him, they've got a rifle. But Zipnix is going to get Crims, and it all comes down to Olaf Meister. Not going to happen. 14-7. They've doubled up on Fnatic. It's all but finished at this point. So at this point, Fnatic have to reset their focus, reset their mentality, and get ready for Mirage. Because it's already, I mean, it's not been a top 4 finish is always commendable, but for them, playing as they have, not playing in the gold medal, it's already not been the tournament they wanted, and not getting a bronze medal would just...
That's, yeah, unacceptable there for them. Completely unacceptable. Either way, though, they're going to be going in right now into this round with just some basic lobby control, playing a bit passively on all the positions here as they kind of just wait out the pre-nades here from Dignitas. You can see the smoke there, the Olafmeister stuck behind. Carrigan just trying to lock down the hut area. They are trying to poke here, and we saw Dignitas were quite good at doing that, just these little pokes. However, it is just 2 rounds for Dignitas to take this one home. Zipnik's already quite low on the ramp area, and he's actually guarding ramp solo at the moment. So Fnatic could find a weakness there, but Device is going to take a shot there on the outside. Does find JW. More players, though, to be taken down. Flasher might just be the next one to play with Device's AWP here, as he is behind the T-Red. Zipnix now does have some support here, as he is quite low, calling in Cage and B.
And he's going to play an off angle. They're not going to play it directly on the entrance. He's going to go behind the pipes and look downstairs. They've already put a player. That's
nice bait there. KGB just get the first frag. They know he is now, but it doesn't matter. KGB on point as ever. Look at the team play from Dignitas.
Brilliant.
That's how you do it. Holding down the ramp. And that is it. Matt map point here for Dignitas now. You can see the smiles all around.
And you're dead right. That's why he rotated pipes. He could just bait them out and cheeking back and forth, peeking out, and just let CajunB get the kills rather than staying where they couldn't. They didn't have to. If he stayed on the right side of that entrance, they wouldn't have to play against CajunB. But by forcing them out that far, it made it easy. So wonderful teamwork from Dignitas, and now they are on match point, and it's only pistols for Fnatic. So we should be done here any second.
Absolutely. So right now, Dignitas having a pretty easy time of it with this new game. Just going to see a lot of bunny hopping there towards the secret. dupreeh going to be spraying him down. Look at that, just lining up for dupreeh's M4. Pronax and JW left now. JW actually did find himself in M4, but he's going to get taken out by dupreeh as well. And Pronax still alive and kicking. He can actually pick up that weapon there. And the bomb, now that it's smoked. It goes to nade though. Minimal damage done, however.
Just a little too deep.
Yeah, this is it though. These vent positions. Usually on most maps, a 1-on-2 for the T is not necessarily that bad with a minute left because you can, they have to split up and all this kind of stuff. But they can just stay around the vents and they'll hear the plant and they can just swarm you.
Well, that's the major reason right there why it's such a CT map, because it's very easy to defend both sites. As Pronax is going to try and come through mini right now. He does take some shots into Xyp9x, and it doesn't matter. dupreeh closes it out. Dignitas, one game away from a bronze medal, and Fnatic have to try and make a comeback onto Mirage and force things out onto Dust 2. So a great start to the morning for Dignitas. They got to perform. Bronze medal on the line. First ever X Games finals underway.
Absolutely, but again, this was the must-win for Dignitas. They're an amazing Nuke side. We already know that Fnatic don't play a lot of Nuke. I really truly believe they expected this outcome, something similar to this. They're completely fine right now. They know Mirage, they know Cash, and that they're both their maps. So Dignitas, long road ahead of them. They get to start out with good emotions, but there you go. Any final thoughts on that first map?
No, just great performance. I commend Device for playing extremely strong on the T side. Started off brilliantly. dupreeh came in as well with some awesome frags. So altogether, great teamwork, and it's good to see Device rebounding again from, I mentioned it before, that third map yesterday where he really didn't contribute much at all. In fact, he might have actually been a bit of their weakness on why they couldn't close out against LDLC.
Well, either way, it's time for a quick commercial, guys. We'll be right back here for the MLG X Games, the final state, so stay with us. We'll see you after the break.